Hi, and welcome to Female Entrepreneurs Magazine, your go to platform for ambitious women who are ready to take the business world by storm. I'm your host, Angel France, and each week we'll dive into the latest strategies, stories, and success secrets from the most inspiring female entrepreneurs around the world. Welcome to the Real Female Entrepreneurs. Today's guest is the queen of calling out what no longer fits. Because let's just be honest, some things belong in the past, like those low rise jeans and outdated leadership. She is the powerhouse founder and CEO of Perpetual Capacity Coaching and Consulting, where she helps leadership ditch stale SOPs and step into growth with clarity and confidence. She's a Gallup certified coach, a podcast host, and a soon to be author, and a woman who has turned a hard pause into a powerful purpose. She's brilliance with bite. Can't wait to hear that. And wisdom along with the wit. Okay, this is going to be fun. So I want you to help me welcome Jen Cáceres. Welcome, Jen.
Thank you so much, Angel. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. I cannot wait to hear the story. I mean, we talked a little bit. I got a little snippet of what happened, but I cannot wait to hear what actually happened that got you to become the amazing entrepreneur you are today.
Yeah, thank you so much. You know what? It was honestly some divine intervention, I think. Uh, I do a lot of work around being stuck, and I myself was stuck. I was an executive in HR in a smaller construction company, and I was climbing somebody else's ladder always. And it felt like towards the end, I was climbing that ladder with roller skates. Maybe they were even oiled up. I'm not sure, but that's the way it felt. I had realized that what was happening at home was not exactly being my kind of front of mind, right? I was really focusing on work, and I was, if I'm being very honest, I was addicted to work, and I was putting that in front of everything. My daughter came to me one day. I realized, and then over the series of about 7 years, she had an illness that was honestly just getting worse and worse. And so rather than stepping into that role of mom and being in that space, I was really caught between both worlds of entrepreneur. What could I do? What am I doing at work? And so I really took a leap of faith. I am a faithful person, and I had some words with the powers that be. And I said, if I'm not meant to be in this role, then I need you to take me out of it. And within 3 months, I was out. So I walked out, I left, and I started the healing process. And in that healing process, it was revealed to me all of the things that I had outgrown, which included the work that I was doing for years. So it led me to my role and my business that I'm doing today.
Okay, that is amazing. So, obviously, you're telling me you had no balance before, none at all. When you,
I was very unbalanced, unhealthy, burnt out, all the stuff.
and I mean, let's be honest, balance is hard.
Yeah.
Reality, do we ever really have balance?
Yeah. No, I don't think there is such a thing as balance, especially when, and I don't know about other entrepreneurs, but you don't know what you don't know. And you don't have that confidence if you've been in that corporate space because, like I mentioned, you're climbing someone else's ladder, right?
So you came home, you probably got some balance, and you were there with your daughter, assisting her, or you want to bring us a little further?
Sure. Yeah. No, we needed to heal. We needed to take care of what was happening in that part of life. And so while she was healing, I was healing. She was healing in a different way, and I was kind of recovering from that concept of the corporate world and where we learn to be leaders, but we're never necessarily given all the tools. And I had lost myself completely. So that healing process took me at least a year to come into my true self and show up not only for my daughter and allow her to, I mean, now she's thriving and everything is wonderful. Not perfect, but it's wonderful compared to where it was. And then for myself to be able to step back into the workspace and connect, reconnect, network, do those things to have a successful business.
Wow. Yeah. And how is it now, balance? I mean, do you have any? Do you work 24/7? Tell me what it's like now, because your children are older. Am I right?
Right. I have 2 grown children, so that makes things a lot easier. You know what? I don't know if there ever is a solid balance. What I've come to know is that it's more so if I self-reflect, the sky's the limit. So as long as I am reflecting and I'm looking at myself, what can I do better? Where did I drop the ball? Where do I need to humble myself? And don't get wrapped up, because I think a lot of people get wrapped up in our own habits. We don't recognize that they're habits, and then they may become sort of addictions. And that's where I was with work. I was addicted to work, and I realized that I had to step back from that and become more addicted to life and what drove me versus me trying to drive everything. Because if we're honest, we really don't have that much control.
Yeah. No, we really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find sometimes I have these grandiose plans and then a little wrench comes in and, oh my God, I have to maneuver over there because that's just the way it's going to happen today.
Yeah.
And I have to be willing to allow that.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of power in releasing the control. Trust me.
So if you could go back and tell your 18-year-old self something, what would that be?
I think the biggest thing that I would tell my 18-year-old self is, I talk about this a lot in coaching and in my keynote, is the backpack of life that we carry with us. Often we tuck things into that backpack, our experiences, our traumas, relationships, all those things, and to just understand that they actually happen for a purpose, on purpose. Sometimes as we get older, it tends to unzip a little bit and kind of spill out, and we get really embarrassed, or we try to hold on to all of those things versus really looking at those things as gifts and opportunities to not only help ourselves grow, but also to then empower others to grow. And I think that that's what would have been helpful to me at a younger age.
Yeah. And that backpack sometimes gets really full.
Right? It is weighing a lot of us down. Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Yes. Love that one. All right. You deal with a lot of women in business, and you've been in business for quite some time now. How long have you been in business now?
A couple years. So since 2023.
Okay, good. That's awesome, because I want to know a strategy that has helped your business grow that maybe you went, I don't know if that's going to work, or somebody else told you, oh, don't do that. That's not going to work. Any ideas?
For me, I don't know if it was necessarily a business strategy, but it was a personal strategy that has grown my business. So it was stepping up and out of the mindset that I only am what I have been, that I can't reinvent myself, that I can't stand up and out of that box, if you will. So once I realized that I wasn't just a woman in construction, because that's where my most recent history has been in the last 10 years, or I wasn't just an ESL teacher or a Spanish teacher. I did a lot of teaching in my previous years. it just opened so much for me. And so now focusing on the whole foundation of growth and what we've outgrown and empowering us through it's almost like we give ourselves back the power by looking at things that have happened to us in a different light versus blaming something, oh, this is a really toxic situation, or I have a really crappy boss, or whatever it is that we might say about certain things. Instead of that blame, we can now say, you know what, I've outgrown a lot of those behaviors and I'm just ready for something else. Or if I'm not being developed, well, what am I doing to develop myself? And so that whole mind shift from just personally has allowed me to take my business in a different direction versus just staying in that little box of what I knew and sort of what I was labeled, and self-inflicted labeling was happening. And it was a great strategic turn.
I like that self-reflection, looking at you, how can you change that and maneuver from there? That is great.
Yeah.
Love
Thank
that.
you.
Now, this is the thing that always gets to me. There's tons of things that we can actually do in this next step, because I know between you and me, we could probably come up with 100 of them. But what is a myth about being an entrepreneur that you wish most women would kick to the curb? They would just stop believing this one thing.
Yeah. The biggest thing that I have discovered is that myth that we have to consistently compare ourselves to everyone else. I recently created a video, and in it, I talk about this very thing. I say, no one goes to doctors and says, you know what, we've got 10 really good ones. We don't really need any more. No, we want you to go to school. We want you to become whatever it is in your niche, because there's no one like you. There's no one else that brings your experiences, your history, your mess, whatever that is. It's all part of us. And so that concept of comparing and, well, I don't have this certification, or I don't have this brick and mortar office, or whatever that is, we don't need it. We just have to be comfortable with being authentic and stop comparing.
Yeah, don't look at somebody else's 20-year adventure to your 1-year or 5-year adventure. That always brings me back to the show Burlesque. Have you ever really saw that show?
I have not.
I'm a dancer at heart, so I'm a burlesque fan.
Okay.
And one of the girls who's in trouble goes to Cher and says, "You said we don't sing." And she goes, "No, we don't sing, but she can," talking about Christina Aguilera inside of the movie. And she's like, she didn't pay her the dues, the girl who's in trouble. And Cher says, "Oh, you don't sing like that unless you pay the dues."
Mm,
So
yep.
you don't know what dues they had to pay.
Yeah.
And what steps they had to take maybe 20 years before.
Right. Right. I love that. I love that. That's a great analogy, because we don't know. And especially in the world that we live in with social media and this, doom scrolling and comparing, it's so lethal to our professionalism and just our core of who we are.
Yeah. Yeah. This is real. We're talking real here.
Yep.
So, I mean, life happens. And I will tell you now, I couldn't do what I did if I did it 20 years before when I wanted to do it. And
Yeah.
I don't know about you, I wouldn't be as successful probably as 20 years before if I would have started it. And what about you? You starting when you starting, it was for a purpose. It was the perfect time for you to start. But
Absolutely.
you had all these lessons that you've learned up to that point to get you there. And if somebody might say, "Oh yeah, she's only done that in blah, blah, blah years," but they don't know that back end story.
Right. Right. No, I would not be who I am today professionally or personally, right? If I didn't have those experiences. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And dealing with life tragedy, family tragedy, on and on and on. It's how, and I think it's sometimes how we actually handle it, just like you were saying, while you're going through it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. There are so many unknowns, especially when it comes to caregiving. For my example, I mean, I was caregiving. I had to make a choice, my family or my career. It wasn't like I was going off to the beach somewhere to just reinvent myself, right? And which there's nothing wrong with that, but that wasn't my path. And so just, I guess it goes back to that comparing. You just don't know.
Okay, Jen, when are we going to the beach so we can just chill now?
I'm ready. I'm ready to go to the beach.
That is really good. I like that. Okay, let's talk. I'm going to break this down in a few different ways for you. So let's begin first with a woman who's sitting there going, I'm on the edge. I have to make a difference. Something's going on in my family life, personal life. Got to make a change and I just don't know what to do. What is your suggestion?
My suggestion goes to actually what my podcast is about, and it is intentional pause. I think you mentioned that at the very beginning about me. I go through 6 steps. It's a little method that's pretty easy to remember, and I tell them to stop. First thing is to stop, take a pause, remove all distractions, and just be with yourself. Then it's drop. Drop the stories, all the stories that you're telling yourself about either you're not good enough or you can't, or maybe you'll have overnight success. Just drop all of that because we don't know yet. Then reflect. So much power in self-reflection. What do I really want? How can I actually get there? Then observe who else is doing it? Who else can help me? Where can I find that support? Listen to my gut, listen to the people that are my cheerleaders, listen with a filter because sometimes grandma wants to really, show us that we can do anything, but we need a little bit of support. And then the last thing is to evolve. So what's one step I can take today to move forward to whatever it is that I really want? Because we go back, those stories just trip us up every single time. So I say stop, drop, and roll, R.O.L.E. Like there is a fire, I've got to put it out, but I have to be present and pause first.
Stop, drop, and roll. That is awesome.
Thank you.
All right. What is the name of your podcast?
Stop, drop, and roll.
Okay. It is Stop, Drop, and Roll. Oh my God.
It is.
I love the analogy of it. I love everything. That is so great. And I love the name because that is true. Now, that was for somebody who is just starting out. I'm sorry, but that could work for somebody who's in a mess or getting ready to quit as well.
Yes. So the thing about Stop, Drop, and Roll, every episode is for the leader with or without the title, leading at home or leading at work. If I think I need to break up with my best friend, I'm going to stop, drop, and roll, and I'm going to work through it and take one step towards making that decision. Same thing goes for at work. So that's really the concept behind it, is that it is applicable for everybody.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not applicable for family all the time.
It's not, no, but one step, right? And I don't mean like leaving family. I'm just saying, what's one thing that self-reflection sometimes shows us that we're the thing that needs to maybe make a little shift, right? And so, yeah, it's not always about leaving. I just want to make sure that's clear.
Yeah, I get it. All right. What amazing advice. Oh my God, guys, you need to join her podcast. Stop, drop, and roll. Okay. I'm adding it. Check. All right. Now, what about a sneak peek into the future for you? What are we seeing? What's happening? I know you have some great things on the horizon.
Yes. So I am working on my book right now. It is called The Great Outgrown. It's pausing on purpose. I also have a signature talk that I do keynote speeches on that is the same the same name, sort of the same idea and the same concepts. And so delivering that will be something coming up, partnering with some organizations to get that out there, as well as not just delivering that to a group, but then also taking that a step further and creating very customized workshops for different organizations and leadership groups, retreats, those sorts of things, so that we're not just hearing the information and applying it, but we're also then holding ourselves accountable for it. Because there's one thing to say, yes, I've outgrown this. I know that. Most of us know what's getting in our way. It's how do we move past that? How do we then weed some of that out so that we can actually grow?
Wow. So talking about, maybe webinars, mastermind, summits, on and on and on. I learned a little trick, lead magnets, on and on. We could go on and on about all that, but I learned a little trick with Eventbrite. Have you ever heard of Eventbrite?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So they actually put they use Eventbrite to collect all the information, and it's just quicker and easier to set that up than having a landing page and everything, which I thought was cool. I used it and it worked. It was amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check that out. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Now to a fun side of life. Do you mind telling us something about you that not a lot of people know about?
Oh my. I guess this is fun. I'm totally bilingual in Spanish. I started traveling when I was 14, and if I had the chance and life were totally, set up for this, I would probably leave the United States, go to Mexico, open a private school, live by a lake somewhere, and teach English and leadership classes in Spanish or English. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So there you go. Hopefully that's fun. That's fun for me. I don't know if it's fun for everybody else.
It's very intriguing. So, okay, you still could do your regular business down there. Let's workshop this out. You still can do your regular business down there, correct?
Correct. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a great place to have retreats. So
wow. Yes. So
yeah.
then whatever place you have, you can still teach and then rent it out on the weekend for retreats.
Like it.
For business owners and entrepreneurs and stuff to have a retreat. Oh yeah, I see it.
All right, let's do this.
Mm-hmm. It's on your vision board, I'm sure.
It's definitely in here. I don't know that everybody in my family knows that I would skip the country and go move somewhere and start a school, but it's just always been a dream of mine. So yeah.
So the school would be for what age group, and for children or for whom?
No, I did that. I'm beyond children at this point. No offense to anyone who does that. I think it's brilliant, but I would teach adults. My niche is with adults. I would teach probably English for industry or Spanish for industry. I've done that before, where you come in with all of the things that people need in the industry that they work in, and then teach to that and incorporate leadership concepts and the great outgrown into that.
And if it's a retreat place, I mean, there's a place for them to stay and get engrossed into the whole environment and speak the language with the natives as well.
Yes, we're all going to have buddies. It's going to be perfect. I already see it. This is great, Angel. I love it.
Okay, I'm coming. It's on my list.
All right.
Actually, to learn Spanish. I always have wanted to, and I grew up next to a woman who spoke Spanish, and I just never learned, and I should have.
Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot of people that feel that way, especially as we've gotten a little bit further along, where Spanish is kind of our second language in the United States, if it's fair to say that. So yeah, you're not alone.
Yeah, I love that one. All right. I love that unexpected. So it's out to the world now. Everybody's going to know it. So it has to go on your vision board now.
Okay. Got it.
All right. A song that you love. Let's pump up the anthem a little bit.
Yes. So it is not a traditional song. It's not like, Black Eyed Peas or anything like that. It is actually a faith-based song by Lauren Daigle called Look Up Child.
I love
And
her. I
do you?
love
Okay,
Lauren Daigle. Oh my God, she's so
wonderful.
amazing. Stomp is one of my favorite. I just like the jam of it.
Yes, she has some really, really good ones. It's got almost like a reggae. It's called Look Up Child. And I think for me, it starts off a little bit sad, if you will, but what it does for me is look up. Just see all of the people that you're going to impact today. Trust in me that I'm going to give you the tools, the gifts that you need to get you through this. Just keep looking up. Everything's going to work, And so for me, that's a heavy one, but a good one. It gets me motivated every single time. Yeah.
And I love that song. However, I love everything from her.
I know. Yeah.
She's really good.
She's
Yeah.
really good. Yeah.
All right. What about a book that you love?
The book that I used to give out to all of my new people managers. This is a nerdy thing, but I love being a nerd in this. It's called It's the Manager. And it's a book by Jim Clifton and Jim Harder. They write for Gallup. I'm not here to promote them or the book, but the book is amazing because it tells us as people leaders what we need to hear, not what we want to read. And it takes it a step further and just tells us now that the next generation of workers are coming in, how do we appeal to them? How do we keep them? How do we engage them? And how do we embrace their natural gifts and talents versus trying to fix people? And so it's a phenomenal book that I still give to a lot of my leaders that I work with, because I just think there are so many foundational pieces that speak to us if we are open to it. I feel like books are another one of those mediums that you can read all the books that are behind me, but if I don't know that I need it, it's not going to stick.
That is so true. But I love books, and I see you love books as well. And I'm sure you have boxes of books stashed somewhere as well, like me. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you guys, if you've never done Google search, okay, like you've done the Google, so it's like Google, and then you have the little mic in the search bar, and then next to it, it has the little camera, correct?
Mhm.
So my husband and I were cleaning out something. I took a book that somebody just gave him. They were a co-author on it. And I took a snapshot of it thinking that it was going to be $1 or $2. It was valued at $177. So don't just throw away books anymore or anything else. Do that little trick.
That's a great piece of advice. Think of all the treasures we have.
Yeah. Oh my God, there's so many. My mother-in-law collects angels. So one day I was sitting there going, oh, how much are they? And I mean, when I say she collects them, there are walls of them.
Wow. Wow.
And so one of them was like $600. I was like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. Wow.
Some of the siblings were there, and I'm like, who wants this one? We don't want any of those. I'm like, okay. I ended up telling them, but
Little secret.
Yeah. All right. Words to live by. What is a quote that you just love?
Yeah, I was trying to, think about a quote that would be super profound, but there's something that I've been telling people. And so I guess this is my own quote. I hope that's okay.
It is always okay with me.
Okay. And I'm not trying to be conceited in any way. This goes along with everything that I do. You have permission to be the first person to do something different. And you can tack onto that at work, in your family, with your friend group, but you have permission to do something different and be the first person to do it. Because again, it's just so heavy for a lot of us to think out. We're so busy. we put so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect, to keep climbing the ladder, to make a certain amount of money, to have the house, whatever it is. You have permission to be the first person to do something different.
Yeah. So you're saying that what happened to me yesterday was somebody says, "Oh, I'm talking to so and so. They're your competition." I said, "No, I'm sorry, they're not." And I said, "I'm not being cocky or conceited. I'm just saying there's nobody like me. There's nobody who does what I do.
Yep.
So sorry."
I love that because it's true. It's true. We can all have the same title and do the same thing, but the way that you treat your product or your customer or whatever is always going to be uniquely you.
And I think people do things different. They word things different. Everything's different and how each person does something. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Superpower for one day. We already know we have a superpower because we're all different. But if you had a superpower for one day, like Catwoman or Marvel or Magic Wand Fairy, what would it
Oh my
be?
goodness. Again, kind of nerdy, but I would want to be that voice in everyone's head.
Ooh.
Be-
Okay.
be-
What is your message?
my message is we talk so negatively to ourselves. It's time to start talking more positively to ourselves. It's time to start thinking about where we're adding value and how we're impacting positively. And it's not, like toxic positivity or anything like that. It's just stop looking in the mirror and telling yourself how ugly you are or how whatever, right? It's just I would love to be that voice for one day just to see how people could change.
Yeah. And I told you earlier before we started, the green dot is my kryptonite. If I'm doing this by myself, I'm just not going to do it. So
Yeah.
I mean, and that's that self-talk thing. So yeah, you're going to come in my brain and tell me, "Oh, Angel, you got this."
Exactly. That's right.
All right. Motivation. All right, we all get down a little bit. We all need a little pick me up. What is the thing that you do that motivates you?
You know what I do? I go driving. I think that windshield time is so important and not to be distracted while I'm driving. But I just feel like that's an opportunity to be alone. I'm not distracted by anybody unless they're cutting me off. But it gives me an opportunity to just kind of recenter and find clarity. Sometimes I'll go hiking. I'm in Colorado, so that's something that, sometimes I'm allowed to do that on certain days if it's not too warm. But I also, just being very candid here, I also pray. And that's, my time to express myself, talk to myself, kind of be that weird person that people look at, in the car next to them. That's me. That's what I do to motivate myself, because I can try to find that in everybody else, but ultimately I'm the one that has to get out there and do it. So
Yep. And driving used to be my jam so much, but then I think I stopped after COVID, and you're bringing that back to me going, "Angel, just go get in a car and drive." And I mean, I drive a fun little Mini Cooper. Love my Mini.
it's fun. That's super fun.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
super fun. Yeah. So it makes me want to go take the little Yorkie and go like drive a little bit. We'll go on the beach. How about that?
There you go. Back to the beach. Yes, I like it.
I'm only 10 minutes away. So hello, right?
Nice. I'm about 15 minutes from Pikes Peak, if you know where that is. So,
Oh, gorgeous.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Just our water's not gorgeous. It's in the Gulf of Mexico. America. Sorry, America. The Gulf of America. Gonna keep saying that wrong. All right. Um, what is the best way for our audience to stay connected with you?
Yes, the best way is to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I post on LinkedIn probably 5 or 6 times a week. Jennifer Cáceres. I go by Jen on LinkedIn. I also have my website, which is perpetualcapacity.com. And Angel mentioned my podcast, which is Stop, Drop, and Roll, R.O.L.E. You can find that anywhere you find your favorite podcasts.
That's amazing. So, all right, Jen, give us a mic drop moment, something that we didn't talk about that you'd like to share with our audience.
I think the biggest thing is to just continue to believe that you can do it, because we, as entrepreneurs, a lot of times, a lot of us, many of us have gone from working on teams to working independently. And when you find yourself suddenly not surrounded by a large team or having these KPIs or goals, sometimes it's hard to stay motivated. So whatever it is that you can do, as we mentioned, going for a drive, going to the beach, buying yourself something nice, whatever that looks like, just to continue that momentum that you absolutely can do it. And whatever story you're telling yourself is the one that you can make come true.
Jen, you are amazing. Thank you for being on here. Mwah.
Thank you so much.
I can't wait to go to Mexico so I can learn Spanish.
You are the first one invited.
So excited. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. I hope you found inspiration, actionable tips, and a sense of connection with our incredible community of driven women. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share the episode with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their game. Remember, your success is just the beginning, and we're here to support you in every step of the way. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and remember, you have the power to create the business and life of your dreams. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.